Hello everyone and welcome to the 6th DevBlog for You Will Die, the zombie survival horror game that puts you in the game. This is me, this is my face, put on a mesh of an Unreal Metahuman, and I'd like to do the same for you. I'd like for you to play a zombie survival horror game as you. That will be part of the fun of You Will Die, zombie survival horror game. Today's DevBlog, we're going to go over 2 updates. The first is I did a lot of work on the back end for the database and the REST API, making it more production ready and fixed a lot of bugs. And I also worked on stuff you see in like AAA titles like Call of Duty and such, where we have this focus blur being done when aiming down sights. So I wanted to give the same look and feel as these AAA titles. So let's dive right in. Let's take a look at the database. Over here on the left, I have the REST API server running, and then on the right is the game. The game is now connected to the server, and we can see every few seconds whenever there's an update happening, we're getting pushes to the database of updates. Let's go ahead and, as an example, we will shut the server down. And I will restart the server. You can see here, first thing it does is it's going out and getting the inventories, the items, the vehicles, anything that we want to persist in the world. The system is first loading, and when here we go, when a user logs in, now we are getting the user information from that user who logged in from the database. And here's all the inventory and item loads. And yeah, now let's take a look. We're now in the world as the user and in the same location. But cool, okay, let's do something a little bit more fun. Let's actually grab some gear and some inventory. So yeah, let's go and grab this backpack. Maybe we'll grab some guns. Let's get some shoes. Some sunglasses, put on a shirt, put on some pants. Oh, I think I dropped the pants. Oh, that's okay, never mind. Let's see here, and anything else? Okay, no. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab some items. Let's see here. Some magazines. And we can see on the left, as I'm grabbing magazines, and items, we're getting updates to the database via the REST API. Let's see here, let's grab an apple and let's run somewhere new. And you'll see the REST API isn't updating at the very second I pick some up. What's happening is it's going into a queue, and then that queue then periodically then gets pushed to the database through the REST API. This way, the system can support a lot of people through bulk updates. And it's only going to update the database when there is an update to be had. For example, a user changed location. We're currently losing water or food, and so we're getting updates for this particular player. Okay, yeah, let's go full screen. Let's take a look, and here's some magazines, some ammo, T4 and an apple. Let's move some stuff around. Let's see here, what else? Maybe we'll put on an optic. Okay, cool. The optic, the original iron sights are now back in the inventory. Let's move them over here. What else? Yeah, you can see over here on the left side, we're getting updates to the inventory and to the items. Okay, and then let's shut down the server. And oops, okay, yeah, it looks like I got a bug there. Don't know what happened. And then Yeah, let's go ahead. You can see the server stopped. There's no more activity, but let's hit play to restart the server. And yeah, again, we're loading all of the database into memory. All the item spawns. There's some breakpoints here. I'm gonna blur that out. But yeah, now the player, the world is started, and the player is back in the world, and we have all of the items, all of the gear, the sunglasses, the shirt, all the items that we placed in the inventory are back to their location in the inventory, including the T4 optic. Let's go ahead and grab it. So yeah, it's definitely attached and everything's working. The idea is, you're going to enter this world. It's a multiplayer world, and you'll be able to collect your items, collect your gear, build your base. So let's go grab some more items and load up this inventory. One of those bottles are not the correct bottle. I gotta get rid of. That's the good one, and there's another one that's the bad one that I gotta delete. What do we have here? Some spray paint, a hammer, a bandage. Yeah, let's grab the bandage. Sure, let's grab this baseball bat. I haven't even gone over melee combat yet in these dev blogs. Maybe I should. Okay, now let's run to a place that we haven't been before, and let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, so let's go ahead and move some things around here. Oh, I gotta fix the texture, the thumbnail. But yeah, let's move these guys over here and this guy over there. Okay, yeah, I gotta blur that out again. So just breakpoints, developer stuff. Yeah, so move these over here. Okay, yeah, now let's shut down the server again. Okay. Now let's restart the server. So the server's starting. The world is building first. Yep, there we go. And now the world is building. Now the user is now logging in. So the player is now logging in. We're loading all the information. And here we are. We have the item gripped with all of the correct attachments. I think we're lagging here because of my recording. Sometimes that happens. But it's a beautiful shot. Okay. Yeah, okay, good. We're back. Looks like I had a bug with here. I thought I fixed that, but it overrode some of the items. I thought I fixed it, but okay, it's still there, but that should be easily fixed. But everything else is back to where we had it, so this is good. But yeah, I gotta fix that bug, and it looks like the rotation didn't retain the rotation. I mean, this is why it's called a dev blog and not a production blog, I guess. Cool. All right. Yeah. Let's fire off this guy. Show it's real. Yep. There we are. Firing off the gun. It's real. And that is database persistence. Now, next, I'd like to talk about architecture, because I love talking about software architecture. And I built the backend using this API framework called REST-Heart. It is a quick and easy way to get an API for a MongoDB database. Years ago at another company, I'm the one who actually introduced REST-Heart to the MongoDB executives during a presentation. They were not aware of this tool that could easily get like an API up and running for your MongoDB database. So you're welcome, REST-Heart. The only problem is that it's good for development, but if you're going to release it for production, REST-Heart does require an enterprise license, and it's an expensive enterprise license. And so instead, I am going to write my own backend. But for now, this is perfectly fine. It works perfectly fine. It works great. It should take me like a day to write a secure backend API. This is like I can do this in my sleep. But for now, I'm just going to continue to use this during development until I really need it. But it's a great framework. It works great. I just don't want to pay for it. Next, we're going to talk about the aim down sight blur, which is something that when you see other AAA titles, this is something that they all incorporate. And it's something that I wanted for my aesthetic because if you ever put your hand up, close one eye or whatever, put your hand up to your eye, you can notice around the edges like stuff gets blurry, like humans do this. And so I definitely want to have this incorporated. So I looked at how AAA titles do this, and it's done through some post-processing. I've seen a lot of tutorials out there do this with a widget, and because I'm having animations and because each scope has a different aim down sight view location, I needed something a little bit more customizable. And so it just seemed like it was really dinky to have a widget. And so instead, I'm doing is post-processing using a technique where I'm creating a mask. Let me show you. So what I'm doing is anything inside of the green circle is going to be crystal clear. Anything outside of the red circle is going to be blurry. And then in between the green and the red is like a gradient, like a linear gradient going from clear to blurry. And this way I can customize it for every single gun, or optic rather. And as far as processing time, it's super fast. And as far as the look goes, I think it's great. It might be a little bit too blurry, too harsh on the blur. That's okay for right now. I can always play around with it. But this gives a really good visual style, I think. Here, let's grab another gun. Here's a Remington, and yeah, as you can see, yeah, it's the same thing. Like this red circle is smaller, the green circle is smaller because of the how far away from the camera is to the scope, and I can change and play around with every single optic to make sure that the circles will fit in the optic and everything looks good. And I think it really comes out looking really nice. You will notice, however, that the blur is instant, and that is because at the moment the way that I want it to work is the blur will occur after the aim down sight animation is finished, or sort of like maybe towards the end, where then the blur will start to fade in. Right now, the fade in is happening super fast. That's by design because I need it to, just for development purposes, I need it to see what's happening with the timing. But I have the code working. There's just a slight little problem. And here, I'll show you guys. So you see here, the aim down sight blur doesn't happen until after the aim down sight animation finishes, but you get this weird little circle happening in the middle, like the clear part. It should be clear during the transition, but it's not. I don't know what it is. It's a small little issue, but this is the experience. This is the user experience that I'm looking for. All right, next on the project is, there was a sale on CD Trader, and I bought a bunch of stuff for like $2 each. Like I showed in past videos, with my framework, it's really easy to get things into the game. For example, I took 15 minutes and imported this AR-15 compatible magazine. And that's it. Thank you very much for joining me on this DevBlog. I look forward to join the Discord server, tell your friends. I'd really like to hear feedback and things you'd like to see. And I really appreciate you watching the video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.